Oh, that I can do this thing.
Ew.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing? My name is James. This is Jen. This is our channel called James and Jen, and we are the Mod 40.
Yay!
If this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. We discuss many things in our life, and I guess maybe partially other people's lives, right? Or things that not other people in general, like other things
like
that
life.
other people could be experiencing.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
life experiences. That's what we do here, guys. So, anyways, in a previous video, we were talking about the baby. Her name is Alaska. If this is your first time here, so the baby,
Our daughter.
Yeah, there you go. Not the state.
baby.
Not the state. We were talking about her whole birthing process, the day of like labor, and we didn't get into it at all. And we said we would talk about it, so we said, well, maybe today
We could talk about it because her birthday. Well,
nothing.
you want me to take over? Whatever. We decided that we could talk about
Your
it.
head's taking over the camera.
Look, guys, I got a mini tan by the way from all my daily walks.
Yeah, look at that.
I can see them.
It looks like a V-neck.
Well, that's what I wear. It's like a whatever. But anyways, her birthday is coming up, so we were like, oh, it'd be cute to like talk about but kind of like reliving a crazy day. But we were like, it would be fun, I guess, to record it, right? Talking about it.
The day wasn't fun.
The day was not fun.
It was not fun. Actually, it wasn't fun for like a week after, if not more than like
I would say more than that.
like 3 months.
Yeah. And then he went back to work.
Well, let's get into it.
The day before. We should talk about the day before because we went on our cute date.
That's true. So we had a date.
No,
right?
no, wait. We should.
So the day we got intimate and conceived, not conceived, conception.
What was the day she was conceived?
No, I think conceived is like when the girl
When it
came out.
happens.
No, that's conception.
So wouldn't that be conceived?
I don't think so.
Whatever. Anyways.
No, because you could like conceive an idea.
Anyways, there was a time, maybe like 2-3 weeks before I was due, my doctor had a conversation with me, and she was like, based on your symptoms, it seems like you'll probably end up being induced. Like, she just felt like my labor was gonna go past the 40 weeks. So when she told me that, whatever, we were on our way home driving, and I was a mess, crying because I didn't want to be induced. I wanted Alaska to come like on her own time, and so it shocked me a little bit. But then once we hit 40 weeks, I was like, even at 38 weeks, then she started doing like the cervical checks. I was like, yeah, it's not happening. This little girl is not trying to come out. Mind you, I was walking. Remember, I was walking every freaking day.
Yeah.
For like a whole month, walking like two miles. I don't think I walked more than that, but every day I was walking. I was using the stupid ball, everything, and she did not come out. And before that, I always had a fear that she was gonna come early. Remember, I always had this anxiety.
You did.
For some reason, my pregnancy was pretty healthy, but I always had anxiety.
Nothing happened.
Nothing. Just the one time that I had like rib pain and I was freaking out, so I went.
Yeah, but that was probably just like
growing pains.
Because I think also sometimes when you're pregnant, like like when you go through life, you get like random shit. Like you're just like, oh, why does this bother me? Or this or that.
Well, you're pregnant,
and it's like you're pregnant, so you just like correlate the two.
Yeah, so that was the only time we ever had to go to the ER.
Remember that I was drunk that day too?
Yeah, because he had been drinking. We had been hanging out with friends. He had been drinking, and the pain had started like the morning of that day. And in the evening when they left, he was like, do you feel fine? And I was like, no, I still feel the pain. So he was like, maybe we should just go and check. So that was the only time we ever had to go to the ER.
No, you woke me up.
No, it was before we went to sleep, you idiot. You were drunk. What are you going to remember?
It was like 10 o'clock when we left.
Yeah, they left from the house.
When am I awake that late? Oh, but this was
because they were
pre-baby.
over, yes. So.
You sure?
Yes.
I was in bed. Like
you were not in bed. We were getting ready for bed. We were brushing our teeth, and you were like, Jen, are you sure you're not going to wake up scared? And so then you were like, maybe we should just go.
Yo, I'm a good husband, drunk, so it don't matter.
But he don't remember shit. Anyways.
Doesn't matter. I remember how good I was, though.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So, the pregnancy, thanks.
Fake ass.
So, I was anxious the whole pregnancy, and I always had this fear because I worked till basically like 2 weeks, I think, before my due date. So, I always had this fear of like something was gonna go wrong and I was gonna give birth pretty early. Turns out little girl was not trying to come out. So I didn't give birth till like.
Oh, can I say them?
Yeah.
Am I allowed?
Yeah.
Pick me. The other thing too, I think, which is interesting, is how they're just like, oh, you gotta be induced. But like, why do they have to fit you into this weak box?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like. What's the big deal if you go to like in between like 38 to 40 weeks or whatever?
Oh yeah.
It's like if you're pushed like 40 weeks, yeah. But there's studies about a lot of things, and like if they're not like peer reviewed or like.
I know, but she's a doctor, so they probably legit studies.
That's not. Doctors do have these studies.
I know, but I'm saying they probably come from like some sort of scientific background. Like I don't think it's like going on Google.
It's not saying that there isn't, but I'm saying like sometimes like if it wasn't like a repeated
it's like biased.
Or even a repeatable type of trial, it's mad hard to determine that.
She said
and then also
study. She didn't make it seem
yeah.
like it
So
was
that's
like
what
a
I'm saying.
thing.
So like that's not really.
No, but she was trying to explain why she was telling us to be induced. Like she wasn't a doctor.
Just admit it. She's dumb.
No, she wasn't a doctor.
Nah, I like that. I really like that.
Yeah, she was nice. She wasn't the doctor that was immediately like, let's get you induced. It was more like, there's this study if you do want to do it. But we were like, no, we'd rather wait to see if Alaska comes. So a week before our due date, she was like, yeah, this little girl she's going to come. So let's just schedule your induction for when you hit immediately 41 weeks. So we had scheduled that induction. And I kind of started to accept it because I was like, this little girl is playing. She's not trying to come out. I didn't really feel that different. I was just tired and fed up at that point. But my body didn't feel like it was going to go into labor. Like I just felt like I was just there. So the day before we started getting the stress checks. Remember we had to go to two of those after the 40 weeks.
What was that?
The picture. Remember that the baby is on one side?
Oh yeah.
Because I went past my due date. So she was like, we're going to do the stress check, just to make sure that you're good. So to keep going. Remember? So we did two of those. And then she gave the induction date. And the last stress check we had, which was the day before I was hitting 41 weeks. No, 2 days before I was hitting 41 weeks. We decided to go on a date after the appointment because we were just like, oh, let's just eat out. And I had really bad sciatica. Remember it got really bad like the last week? It was terrible. Like I was limping. It was terrible.
But I think also because you're tiny too. Like
yeah, the belly, that thing got huge. Like the last, I feel like 2
big
weeks.
ass belly. Hell yeah.
Yeah, for how small I was. And so.
That shit was like your size. That was like all of you ball. In one ball.
So then we went on our cute little date. And after we left that freaking
Hold on, you're not going to tell me what we got?
We got Peruvian. It was Peruvian.
Nah, it was Ecuadorian.
Oh.
But they all make the same shit anyway.
It was baked chicken.
No, it wasn't baked chicken. What the fuck? We had bandeja paisa.
But wasn't it with the chicken too?
No, there was no chicken. It was steak.
Oh, well, it was delicious.
Bistec.
Beef steak.
Beef steak. Bistec.
Yeah, we had that. And it was
we had bandeja
so
paisa. If you never had bandeja paisa, try to find like a good spot.
Yeah.
Fucking so worth it.
And then, oh shit, my bag was,
So we had bandeja paisa.
Yeah, and then whatever, we left the restaurant, and the minute we got into the car, I was like, James, I feel like crampy. But it felt very mild, so I was like, it felt like gas. It was a weird feeling, but it just felt like crampy. And
just to preface it, the thing we got is like, it's like rice. It's rice, beans, steak, avocado, egg. No, I'm saying because it's mad shit, so it's like, you could probably just get shit cramps. Yeah, but it's a lot of food.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a lot of different things.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to say. Not like I wasn't.
I think we went back.
Nah, they could have googled it, but I'm just saying, like it's a lot of stuff. Maybe you could.
Yeah, and
get some shit cramps.
Yeah, so when we were going home, I'm thinking it's just like bad digestion because at that point too, I would get a lot of heartburn. So I'm like, fuck. I tried to. Then remember, I didn't feel good. Like I was just like, James, I think we should go to sleep early. Like I just felt crampy, gassy. I was over it because my back was killing me, and I was already almost 41 weeks. So I was done with life. So we went to bed early that day, remember?
You better start living.
Yeah. So we went to bed early that night. I didn't sleep because these fucking cramps. It didn't feel like contractions. I was just very uncomfortable and like I just felt gassy, my back, everything was hurting the whole night. So I barely slept. So I wake up that morning at like 7 a.m. and when I go to pee, I get the mucus plug. And I see it on my panty.
Right. And I was at work. Yeah.
I was so hyped. I was like, oh my God, maybe she's gonna come before I'm being induced. Mind you, at that point I had already kind of accepted it. Me and James had planned a date for that day because we were just like, oh, if we're gonna get induced the next day, let's just go on another date. And we went to burgers, so we were like, let's just enjoy that last final time. So whatever, I show pictures to James. I sent him a picture. I sent his sister a picture. I sent my sisters the picture. I sent a few people the picture because I was like,
bro,
I
thought
don't
it
know
was the
what's
baby.
I gave birth.
Yeah, right.
And who knew? So then at that point, his sister was like, you should get to the hospital because my contractions started immediately after I saw that mucus plug. They weren't like crazy.
You would probably manifested them and shit.
Yeah, right? They were just like happening very often, maybe like 4 to 5 minutes as soon as they started. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm already feeling something. So his sister kind of freaked me out. And she's like, you don't know, you might be a fast like labor. Like you might be a person who,
which I guess is true,
labors fast. And because it's my first, who the hell knows, you know? So at that point, I called James, and James is like, I'm going home right now from work.
And she was like, nah, I don't think you have to rush. And I was like,
yeah, because I was like, oh, maybe we could wait a few hours because my doctor wasn't
I'm like,
in
bro,
yet.
what am I gonna stay at work?
Yeah, he was like, I might as well like be there with you. So he came home, and as soon as he came home, they were starting to pick up. He came home maybe an hour or two after like the whole mucus plug thing.
Can we just do a confession real quick?
What?
Remember I had to go to Stop and Shop to buy stuff?
Uh-huh.
I had like 4 cigarettes.
Oh, because this was when he smoked. Really? Damn, you was stressed.
No, I wasn't stressed. I was like, I know like the next few days I'm not gonna be able to
you
smoke.
trying
So I was
to
like,
rack
let
up?
me just.
You're nasty. Thank God you didn't smoke.
I banged them shits out.
You gross. And
Sorry.
yeah, so that happened. Then we left, like basically after he came. I kept feeling like I had to shit. That was the other day. The other thing too, remember? But nothing would come out. At first, yeah, it was like soft. And then eventually, like, I didn't feel anything. And he was like, you sure you don't want to eat? Like, I was like, no, I don't feel like eating. I took like a piece of bread. Remember to the hospital,
Nah,
peanut
don't.
butter? Oh, you don't remember? It was
You
one
took peanut
toast.
butter.
I just took one piece of bread. Because I was like, just
I didn't
in
have food
case.
either. What I brought? I
No.
brought like stupid snacks.
Yeah, because I think we
That's
were
why I went to
so-
Stop and Shop to get like snacks and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's stupid because I feel like honestly, your best bet is to just have like a meal.
Yeah.
I can even bring
But then
food.
you don't even feel
I think
like
for this
it.
next kid, what we should do, we should put food. We should have like food ready to go. We should go get like takeout or something just to bring food.
Yeah, that's true. Because we really didn't. I feel like we were just like acting on the like. On
And it
the
was
go.
horrible. I don't think we ate up until that baby was born.
Yeah, and so that's the other thing.
Because remember,
so,
then I went to get food. I got like a sandwich. Remember, I
and
got a
then
sandwich after
the
the baby was
morning
born.
they brought us stuff too. Remember the pancakes?
Yeah, but that was well after.
Oh yeah, a long time after. Well, that's the funny
They
thing.
brought you food after you gave birth.
Yeah, so basically when we got to the
Oh,
hospital,
sorry, we're getting like ahead of ourselves.
So whatever, I didn't feel like eating. I was like, let's just go. I think from like just like the feeling of like, oh my gosh, she might be coming. So whatever, we drove. Our parking from the hospital was like a 10-minute walk.
No, it was more than that.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, so because the hospital is in like a very small, like super busy
No,
area.
it's a very busy. Like it's all buildings.
Yeah, so
So it's all buildings around it,
There's
and then
no
so
parking.
you had to go at least. It had to be at least 5-6 blocks away, if not more than that, to more residential area. And then we found like a spot right on the corner.
oh, the 5 minutes.
They good.
So
And it was
James,
definitely a walk and a half.
yeah, it was a long walk.
To
And
get
James was
there.
like, Jen, are you sure you don't want me to just like drop you off and I go find parking and then you just wait? And I was like, no, like I'd rather just be with him. We had a
Bro.
suitcase.
Homeboy took forever with that walk.
So every time I would feel a contraction, we had to stop.
She'd be like, James, stop. And she'd be like, and then we'll walk. And then she'd be like, wait, babe.
Another one.
But she's like, this, like, holding back.
Because my back was killing me at this point. And then, so they started picking up then, like really picking up, I feel like when we got to the hospital. And I remember the girl asking me to sit while she like checked me in. And I didn't want to sit. Like I just couldn't find like a comfortable like spot. So eventually she was like, oh, since you were going to be induced tomorrow anyway, we're just going to keep you here. So she took me to the delivery, like the whatever, where you prep for labor, the room there. We got a room pretty fast, which was nice. So everything kind of was starting smooth. And then they sat us in the room, whatever, and my contractions were going crazy at that point. And I'm like, oh no, I need epidural. Mind you,
Yeah, you gave up
we
mad
always
quick.
talked about epidural, and I had this idea that, but I'm stupid because you hear all this research about like you have to prep if you're going natural. I didn't prep. All I had was a comb with me. So they say you're supposed to squeeze the comb if you're like going through the pain and deep breaths. But you have to prep yourself. Like they say, take classes before. Like it's a whole thing if you're gonna go natural because it's like a mental thing that you have to do. For some reason, I thought that it was gonna be
The bro's
different.
gonna raw dog it.
And as soon as I
She kicked your ass. Yo, when I tell you, because the whole time I was like, all right, just try it and then see how it goes. Because like she knows, like at this point, I might as well just tell you guys, like I don't really trust nobody. I don't trust the hell. I don't trust the shit.
Yeah.
And I think all these things that they give people, because there's one thing I always say is that like they come up with all these things that you should do or these new medical things, and I'm like, listen, if they make them seem necessary, and I always say that nobody would exist had these things actually been necessary. You know what I'm saying? We've been here as humans way longer than any of this new shit that like epidurals and Pitocin and all this garbage. Like nobody's needed it for the fucking last how many millennia, and now we need this.
Yeah,
so, you know what I'm saying? So like, where the fuck was I going with this?
That I didn't wait long to ask for it.
Oh, that's what it was. So she was talking about going natural the whole time, and then we there, really and we were there for like an hour and a half, and she's like, I'll do it.
No, I was like, give it to me. I need it.
But the fucked up thing was like, honestly, like going, I don't know why I feel so stupid now, not knowing shit or not like looking up enough. So if you're watching this and you're not pregnant, or you are pregnant and you're going to go give birth, seriously look into the things they do, because two things. I thoroughly and genuinely regret not stepping in with things solely because of, I guess, just pure ignorance. I guess would be the way to say it, because of things. Yeah, but it was things like I didn't know and things you didn't know. And I think there's things that affected my kid.
I don't think
in
it was
certain
that,
ways. No, because like, hold on. Realistically, before they gave her epidural, there was nothing administered to you, and that fucking nurse bitch. They wanted to.
No, they had the paper for the epidural. They had to sign the paper.
I'm not talking about the epidural. We weren't there yet.
You just said that.
I said before the epidural.
Oh, but you said it like right before. It sounds like you're saying right before they gave her the epidural. You mean before they even came with the epidural?
Before they gave you the epidural. Do I gotta draw it, motherfuckers? Don't shush me. With your sad bagels. Get out of here. Before they did that, look, now you're breaking the train of thought. I'm trying to help people who might be pregnant. Before they gave that to her, they wanted to get this baby out in the worst way. And they did all this extra shit. A woman had her whole arm in Jen to
break my water.
To break the water. There's no, like, after the fact, coming to find out, there was no reason for it. No. And they gave Jen nothing. So Jen was literally just awake with this woman on, and I remember seeing your face. Yeah, like, that's the thing. You didn't get to see what you look like. I had to see you the whole time. So that shit broke my fucking heart to watch it, because I'm like, you can't, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I have no idea. I'm an idiot.
Wait, but before you finish, the thing was too, like, I feel like they created the perfect environment for doing what they wanted to do. Because think about it, we're two first-time parents. We don't know shit that's happening. I'm going through contractions, so my brain is not thinking as sharp as it is. He doesn't know. So it's like even stuff that I Googled, I was not in the mood to tell him I know this thing. Or, you know, I don't have the energy. So even if I would have known, I couldn't have told him that. So they created the perfect environment to do what they wanted to. So the girl was just like, she checked how far I was dilated.
And also manipulates you.
Yeah.
Like your emotions
I was
stuff.
3 centimeters dilated. And my contractions, they were tracking it, so they saw it was fast. So she assumed that I guess I was gonna labor fast, but she didn't let me. She didn't even let it play out. It might have not even been 20 minutes that we were there, and right away they decided we're gonna break your water. In my head, I was just like, well, I guess that's what they're doing. Like, I didn't think anything of it. He didn't think anything of it. So they break my water, and in breaking it, she realizes that the baby has pooped. So.
But now that was the next thing.
Yeah, so it's like now.
And that bitch went in with a hook. There was a hook.
Yeah, to break the water, and that shit was so painful.
And she was like, "No, I can't find that." Stupid bitch, bro. Yo, so, I'm like, I don't know why. Like thinking back to that day, I get so mad. Sometimes.
I know it was.
And I'm like, if really only bad. I knew. And the thing is,
also we got there at 12 p.m. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. The other thing is that I guess we could talk about it a little after, but I just want to say that all of these things just built up, and I think really affected Alaska in a serious way. Look, you like that? I think they really affected her.
Yeah.
In a multitude of ways, because we had this wonderful pregnancy this whole time. Like there was really no scare. There was nothing, chill. Everything, and Jem was very fucking chill. And if you guys know her, she got a little song at times. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna word it nicely. So you would think while pregnant it would be worse. However, it was not heightened. She was super calm. We kept her chill. Like I kept her chill. I tried not to spike her blood pressure, nothing like that. You know, we had a good time. And now like the time when this girl's supposed to come out, you have all these fucking foreign assholes coming. Not like foreigners, like just foreign things happening. You know what I'm saying? That's how mad racist. These fucking foreigners. No, like you know what I'm saying? Like all these things just happening to her. And poor thing, man. Like it was just. I think that shit really affected her.
Yeah.
In a bad way. You know what I'm saying?
And so
next thing,
they broke my water. They said, okay, we're just gonna track your heart rate, like, and put in an inside tracker thing so that they can see her. So it's like they usually do the outside. They were like, we're gonna put it inside as well, because now that she has pooped, we want to make sure that she's good. And so they also put like this filter water thing, like it was like something that would go in and come out. Remember, like to try to filter out
flush
the poop.
it.
Yeah. So when they were doing that shit was painful as fuck too.
Yeah, because she was still non-epidural.
Yeah, the epidural. Yeah, exactly, because it happened after that.
Straight up natural.
So
this whole point.
I'm in pain at this point. So then they give me the epidural.
Hold on, nope, we're not there yet.
No, because the heartbeat started after.
No, before that, I got in contact with my sister. I was talking to my sister, and I was like, "Oh, Melissa, the baby got meconium in the whatever the fuck in the sac or with the womb, whatever the fuck." So her friend is
a nurse.
Is a nurse, and she was a nurse in labor, and her friend's mom is also a nurse in labor. So she asked a friend. Now the friend is like my sister, to where they're very like worry warts. Like I don't know how to say it, but they get like a little exaggerated. So the friend was like, "Oh, you gotta get the baby out." That's what she told my sister. So my sister called me. She's like, "You gotta get the baby out. You gotta have a C-section."
I don't know that this is happening. James is
I was outside. Oh, because they were giving you the epidural. Oh, okay. That's why I was outside. And so I was outside the room because they kick you out because they're gonna be there and watch somebody stick a 10-inch fucking stick up your wife's back. You gotta leave. Whatever. Anyways, she's like, "You gotta get that thing out. You gotta talk to somebody." Blah, blah, blah. So I talked to the lady who had her whole arm up Jen, and I was like, "Listen, bitch, what's going on here? Because now I'm getting." And she's like, no, it's okay, it's fine, don't worry about it, the baby's okay. And I'm like, I don't know if I'll fuck with you. So there was a lead nurse, this older lady. She was actually nice, and she was like, "Listen, that's your baby. If that was my baby, I'd be concerned too. But that's your baby. I understand." That's exactly what she sounded like. And I was like, okay, fine. You kind of like eased me a little bit. Thankfully, about 5 minutes later, the friend's mom, so this lady Liz, I got in contact with her. She was like, "Honestly, do not worry about it. It's okay." And I feel like her word kind of put me at like,
and she actually helped with postpartum.
She helped with a lot actually through the whole thing. But she was like, "Listen, it's okay. Don't worry, just chill out. It's fine. It happens. It's not like," because they talk about the thing that like the shit goes in the lungs or whatever,
which is the biggest worry. Because they could have like health stuff because of it. It's like a whole thing. But I didn't know any of this was happening. Remember? And then I know I'm getting a little like. Right after pause.